What's going on, everybody? Heading over to Walmart right at the moment. I'm gonna be picking up some brake fluid and brake cleaner as well. If you guys watch my Instagram, you know that I just picked up a brake system for the CRX. Well, not really a brake system, but I was missing the rear calipers, rotors, caliper brackets, and hoses. I actually got some trailing arms off of a CRX here locally for cheaper than what it would have cost for one caliper. So for the price of one caliper, I bought the whole rear system. I tested the calipers, like they're not seized. The rotors, I had them resurfaced at my buddy's shop. Then the pads themselves, I got some brand new pads from Advanced Auto Parts for like 20 bucks, so pretty cheap. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up some brake fluid because there's no brake fluid in the system right now. Brake cleaner to clean everything up, and we'll be installing everything onto our trailing arms, and yeah, we should have everything set up right there. All right, so we're at Walmart. Ran into Max like always.
What's up, guys?
So I always like the brake cleaner from Walmart because it's like $1.98 instead of the parts store. It's like $3, but they always run out. It's normally somewhere around here. I guess there's no brake cleaner
in this department. I can't help you.
Man, looks like they're fresh out. I'll at least get the brake fluid while I'm here. Brake fluid, that DOT number 3. Big thing for $4.93. If you guys get brake fluid and you use part of it and you leave the seal broken, I'd recommend getting new brake fluid because brake fluid absorbs water and absorbs moisture. Even if you have the cap on, it can still seep in. Some people don't have a problem with it. They say you're not supposed to, so just keep that in mind if you end up wanting to reuse brake fluid. It's not very safe idea or whatever, but yeah. Look at Max. What's up, Papa?
What's up, bro?
Is he recording me vlogging?
To my favorite YouTube, bro.
Hey, what's good? All right, so Walmart unfortunately did not have any brake cleaner. I got the brake fluid though for $4, so pretty happy on that. It's like $3 cheaper than Advanced or whatever. So I'll go to Advanced right now, pick up some brake cleaner, and then I'll be able to go home and do the brakes. Oscar, say hi to the vlog.
What's up, man?
How you doing, brother?
You coming for the A-Quattro parts?
No, I'm not actually.
You getting all kinds of
I'm getting brake cleaner.
Keeping it simple, keeping it clean. I like it.
CRX stuff, you know.
Sweet.
All right, so nothing whatsoever against parts stores. I mean, they're a great place with a whole bunch of parts, and obviously without them we'd be lost. But this is why I love Walmart so much. Walmart has the can of brake cleaner for $1.98 always, and the price never changes. It doesn't go on sale, but it doesn't really need to go on sale because it's $1.98, you know. Sometimes Advance has the CarQuest one, this one right here, for 2 for $7, I think, and then regular it's like $4.50. So this week they had the sale on the 3M stuff, so it was 2 for $5 or 2 for $6 or something, and they were out of the 3M, so I ended up buying this at $4 a pop, and I needed about 2 of them, so I got 2 cans. But that ended up being like $9 after tax and everything. It was like $4.50 or $4.80 or something, when I could have bought with that same amount of money about 4 cans at Walmart. You know, almost double. But you know, at this point, if Walmart doesn't have it, Advance doesn't have anything on sale that's in stock at least. Sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and buy it. That's why whenever I see it at Walmart, I normally get like 6 or 7 cans at a time, spend about 12 bucks, but I have it in stock, and you know, it's a good deal. I think it's a pretty good deal. The 3M stuff is actually the one that's out of stock at Advance right now. That's what I tested a couple weeks ago. I actually really like the 3M brake cleaner. It's a little more expensive, but I probably wouldn't buy it unless I wouldn't buy it unless Walmart was out of the cheap one, and in this case I couldn't buy it even though Walmart was out because 3M was out also. But I really like that one too. For $1 extra, I wouldn't mind spending it for that specific brake parts cleaner, but no, whatever. We're gonna go home now. I got the brake rotors resurfaced back here. They're on the floor. They were both rusted from the CRX parts that I got, you know, from the other CRX or whatever. They were surface rusted. Alfonso resurfaced them at work. One of them came out perfect. The other one is really close to perfect. It still has a little bit of wear or whatever, but it's within what's usable and whatnot, so we're going to be more than happy to use that. The front rotors and pads that were already on the CRX were completely gone. Like, they were pitted, they were rusted, pitted, and the rust and pits were eating through the serviceable limit on the rotors, which I know people say you can go past it, whatever, but at that point, instead of wasting another hour trying to resurface those rotors and then have a bad rotor or whatever, I just went ahead and bought for $37 online 2 new rotors and four pads, so 2 sets of pads for the front, and that should be in a couple days. But for the time being, we're going to put the old rotors on. That way we can bleed the system and then take it back off and wait for the new rotors to come in. But that's pretty much it. You know, that's what we're going to be doing today. If I get time, I might press out the old wheel bearings for the front and then press in the new ones because I have the new wheel bearings and hubs as well. And yeah, should be a pretty productive afternoon. You know, the weather's a little cool right now, so the garage isn't going to be hot or anything. It's like in the 60s right now, so pretty much perfect. All right, so we're back home. I have here the rear rotors resurfaced and ready to go on, as well as the rear pads. There's the calipers I got to clean up, brake fluid, brake cleaner. I'm going to put on some gloves and start cleaning all of this up and getting it ready to go onto the actual trailing arm assembly. Alright, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but at one point I was wire wheeling one of the slide pins itself and spraying brake cleaner in one of the bores for the slide pins on the caliper bracket. That's because when I got these caliper brackets, these were actually seized. Well, one side was seized. Now it's all free and it's clean from all the debris inside, so that's ready to go on. The calipers twist freely and everything since they aren't a push style like the rears. They're the twist style right there, but they're nice and good. I took a little bit of the paint off of the caliper itself and the caliper bracket because once it's already on the car, I'm just going to spray it black, have it nice, clean, and uniform. That's pretty much ready right there. Now I just got to grease everything down with some brake and caliper grease. So that's going to go inside of the slide pins and everything. Make sure it's nice and you know, free from any corrosion or has the proper lubricant for the grease on the slide pins. And then I have new pads right there I can go ahead and put on as well. I have all my hardware too. Alright, so I have the pads on there greased up and ready to go. The caliper, I started spinning it like inside so it can retract the piston, and it got from like right here to about right there, and now it won't go anymore. It just spins, but it won't keep on going in. I read online that if it does that, then most of the time it just needs to have a lot of pressure on the piston itself while you're pushing in. And the way that I normally do it is just using like this little chisel, and you can't really get a lot of force on it. I saw online there's some tools that they back up against that and they push in while twisting. So I'm gonna go to the parts store real quick, see if I can find anything like that. And if it works, perfect. If it doesn't, then I may need new calipers. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna go to the parts store real quick and check it out. All right, so I ended up getting this little tool from the parts store. While pushing onto the caliper, I was able to thread it back in. Now it's onto the assembly right there. I'm gonna probably mask off the area later and hit it with a little black paint so it looks somewhat decent. But yeah, this side is done. Just have to hook up the brake hose, which is in the back, which I'll just thread it onto the OEM spot right there. And that should be good for that side. All right, the brake hose is in place. The caliper bracket, the caliper, and the pads are already all onto the assembly with the rotor as well. As you can see, it's kind of ghetto right now. I have some zip ties holding up the brake hose. I'm probably gonna make a metal bracket one of these days. I just don't have anything at the moment. This doesn't have a hole to bolt on because of the direction of the hose. But if anything, I might just make something in the future. But for the time being, just to get the car running, that's pretty firm right there. So we can change that up in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this caliper right here and mount it onto the other side. This one also threaded in just with a little pressure as well, so the caliper isn't seized or anything. It's ready to go on, just gotta clean it up. And I'll do the same thing for the slide pins, grease them up and make sure that they're all good and ready to go. For everybody who says that I work in sandals, yes, I work in sandals, and I hate working in sandals because when you're like moving, your sandals come off and you have to like squat down and your sandals come off and you have fluid on your feet, you drop things on your feet. It's really unsafe, but do as I say, don't do as I do. So yeah, wear shoes. I've got both sides already with the brake system. I have the wheel just kind of sitting on the car. It has a nice offset, not like crazy stance and not crazy inside of the wheel. Some people might not like it this much out, about that much, but that's what I kind of wanted to go for with this build. I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie. And then when I have the 205 tire, it's gonna sit out like maybe about right here. This is the 195 tire that came with it. Obviously the tires are shot and I have to get new tires, but I kind of like it, you know, I'm not gonna lie. And the rear trailing arms are perfect, like centered in the car. No issues there. Just gotta unbolt this right now, take the wheel back off. I have to end up pressing out the wheel bearings on this side because, well, actually on both sides, but I'm gonna do this side first because these wheel bearings are definitely bad. And then once that's on, then I can actually put the brake system back on the front as well, and I can start bleeding the whole car. All right, so I've been working for like maybe an hour and a half between trips to the parts store and everything. On the front wheel bearing, I'm still on only the driver's side. I ended up taking out the ball joint, the C-clip for the wheel bearing. There's actually a couple good videos online that go into depth of how to do it, and I'm not gonna really touch on that because you can look up those videos. I just want to show you real quick. I've been like playing with how to take the wheel bearing out for a while, and I finally came up with a combination that I think I'm going to use on the other side that should be good as well. But I'm about to the point that the bearing is actually going to come out from the spindle, and I wanted to get it on video, so I'm going to turn the camera around and show you on my hydraulic press. Now keep in mind, when you're doing anything with a press or any type of machinery, always have closed toe footwear. My sandals are not safe. And as soon as this is done pressing out, the bearing is going to fall down, and the socket that I have there pressing down is also going to fall. So. And the bearing's out. So, success there. The socket went, I think, under the car. And the spindle's ready to get washed and the new bearing placed in. I ordered online some new ball joints and some new outer tie rods and inner tie rods for the car as well. That should be in a couple days. I think it says it'll be here on Friday. Today's Monday, so it shouldn't be too long of a wait. But yeah, there she is. I really want to get it cleaned up though, so degreased, and I might do like a fresh coat of black paint or something just so it looks nice. But yeah, there she is. Just really wanted to get that on camera. All right, so I have both of the spindle assemblies pressed out. Well, the bearings pressed out, the ball joints pressed out. So now it's just the bare cast metal of the actual assembly. I'm gonna degrease them as best as I can. Best way that I know how to do is with an oven cleaner. If you're using this on a soft like aluminum, if you let it dry, it stains the aluminum. But this should be fine because it's this nice beefy metal. And it's not like it's gonna matter if it's stained or not because it's literally under the car. And then after this, just to avoid any corrosion, I'll end up giving it a light coat of some flat black or whatever black I have laying around. That way it just looks nice and uniform. Basically, I'm just gonna let it sit. I'm gonna flip it right now, spray the other side as well, let it sit for like 5-10 minutes, and then scrub it off, just using a little water from the hose. And yeah, should be nice and clean afterwards. Okay, so after scrubbing for like 5-10 minutes, it actually came out a lot cleaner than before, but you can really see all the built-up rust underneath it. I'm going to hit it a little bit with a wire wheel, kind of prep it just for a little coat of paint. Now, in some corners, like just in a very few spots, there's still a little bit of grease just because the brush was so big and I couldn't get into it. But that's not a huge concern since, like I said, I'm just doing a rough coat. That way it just looks a little bit better. But I don't really care if it makes maximum adhesion or whatever, the paint. But I'm going to make sure that these boards are nice and clean. There's a little bit of rust within these. That's even before I clean them out. So I might just scuff it up with like some 2000 grit sandpaper, make sure that it's nice and clean. Use some WD-40, that way it doesn't rust or anything. And then I'll get ready to press these new bearings in, and then I can press the hubs in right after. But yeah, getting ready to paint these up real quick, or at least give them a light coat. And put the bearings in. So I'm about getting ready to press in the new bearing, and yay, they press in so easy. Yeah, I guess I got the wrong bearings. So it ended up being that this shell came with DA spindles, apparently. I guess these are off of Integra DA, which is 90 to 93, if I'm not mistaken. And then the DC comes after that, 94 to 2000-ish. Anyways, so apparently these are off of a DA, so these bearings and hubs aren't the same. I thought maybe I would just get another set of bearings and then just use the brand new hubs that came with it, but I compared the diameter of this part that goes into the actual bearing on the inside, and it's actually smaller than the one off of the DA. So if I can find some DA hubs and bearings for cheap, because on eBay they're like $140 compared to all the other ones, they're like $50 or $60 more expensive. If I can find just the bearings, I'll probably end up just cutting the race out of the back of this hub right here and then just cleaning it up really good and pressing them onto the new bearings, which actually I was talking to Shane, since he, you know, he's got the parts plug, you know what I mean? He still works at O'Reilly's. He can, you know, see if he can find anything for pretty cheap. And if that's the case, then I'll get the new bearings, press those in with the old hubs, and probably do that in the next couple days, since I can't do that tonight. But besides making a mess in the garage, that's pretty much all that I have left to do this evening, just clean everything up. We got a good amount done. I mean, we put the rear brake system on. I started with the front brakes and the sets. Oh man, excuse me, having heartburn or something. Anyways, I ordered the front brake system, the rotors, pads, and everything. That should be in soon. Then I'll figure out the bearing situation the next day or two. I'll probably do another video on pressing that stuff in, but at least I was able to get all that stuff prepped up. I haven't painted it yet. I'll probably do a little coat probably tomorrow or day after, but now they're just pretty much dry. I might go over it with a brush again and some more degreaser just so they're nice and clean. Doesn't really matter that much. I'm not the type of person that worries about show quality in the sense of things that you can't see especially, but you know, if I have it down for the next couple days to do the bearings and whatnot, I might as well just paint them. But yeah, that pretty much sums up the video for tonight, I think. Let's see what else there really is to go over. Just gonna clean up the garage and, you know, catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll be updating more frequently on YouTube. I really want to do more like day-to-day vlogs like this rather than just doing like a specific topic and doing like a grand video for it. I'd rather just like do day-to-day stuff. So I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. Not necessarily daily vlogs, but maybe like every 2 or 3 days upload a video and be a little more consistent in that aspect. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you have any questions, leave them there as well. And like always, thanks for the support, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night and have a good one. Peace.